Hey guys, Ron here. You've probably seen plenty of videos where I invite a group of artists, give them a prompt, and we go crazy. As well as the recent spin-off where my friends create evolved forms for Fakemon I create. Well, here's another spin-off where I invite some Fakemon artists and we redesign each other's Pokemon. DeadBedSpread, MrBonnyJohn, and ReomaArt know what they signed up for, so don't feel bad for them. We're all here to see old designs of ours reach their full potential. Each person will have to pick 3 Pokemon, one from each of the other artists' roster to redesign. The only rules are that the concept and type have to stay intact, nothing too simple or drastic. It has to retain the same name and idea while changing enough to make it very much worth a redesign. If you're new to the channel, make sure to check out all my other Fakemon videos and Pokemon art challenges, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see a part 2. Dead, you're first!
Okay, so we're gonna take a trip back to the beginning of time, January 22nd of the year 2022, where one wonderful True Green 7 designed a Fakemon for the 4 Artists series, the Sedamini line.
Oh, Sedamini, that's actually not the best, so you're right. You're okay, good, thank God. I'd say that that evolved form is, I guess, probably the worst of the designs for the 4 Artist series, which sucks because it's the first one and the most watched one. So it's basically a conquistador pink fairy armadillo knight. It's inspired by some mountains in, where was it again?
Argentina.
Just making sure, which I always thought were cool. Because the prompt, the prompt was a pretty protector protagonist. It's a very, calm Pokemon.
So I thought Sedamini was a little cutie, and I thought that there was a very good through line set up in there that wasn't really followed through. I felt there were some issues missing, where it seems kind of stiff, not really dynamic. I know it's based on a pink fairy armadillo, but Pokemon is fantastical. So I feel like it being able to roll up as a pre-evolution and then losing that is kind of weird. Yeah. Its tail weapon seemed kind of impractical.
This is before I thought of the anatomy of my designs.
This is before you got the Fakemon sense. And you say it yourself in the video that Sedamini looks like a different weapon. I present to you the Deeb's version of Solidillo.
Whoa, that's spy.
Oh, that's... I do prefer the weapon. The weapon's very cool.
Signature move, Tail Flail.
Tail Flail.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's also a really good move, goddamn.
I already love the movement that we're getting with the weapon, the leaned in pose.
Yeah, it's definitely a more dynamic pose, and I guess the long snout is a better progression of the pre-evolved form. Just because the original makes sense doesn't mean it's the best execution. If the new pose is just a cooler pose, then it's just a better pose,
I'm always a sucker for a top-heavy Pokemon, and I think that this really scratches that itch.
And it's cool because it really is the same Pokemon. It really is just Solidillo redesigned. I was worried it was going to look like a split evolution.
I'm getting a chestnut kind of vibe, who's also kind of like a base.
Ron, you were alluding to it being based on kind of Argentinian lore. Yeah. What is also native, or at least was native to that region, is Glyptodons, which obviously Armadillos evolved from, and it's one of Chestnut's supposed bases. With the Dex entry, I also said fossils of this Pokemon have been found dating back to prehistoric times, which is one, a reference to that, but also a reference to that it was really one of the Fakemon that started off the 4 Artist series in general.
Very nice.
And as a Pokemon with literal rock armor, that's good lore for it to have fossils. The question is, how is this tail more practical now?
The way the move worked originally was it was like a Giga Impact. The tail had to take 1 turn to regrow. So
you're right.
With it being segmented and stuff, I feel like that just fits the vibe more, because even if you look at Sedamini's tail, it kind of has the segments that I feel would naturally lead into a longer tail that then have kind of the shape at the end of it.
I think it also really helps that it's a lot more detailed now, because I like the original weapon, but it is very sort of kind of flat. It looks almost completely 2D.
I guess it was already so complicated that I was like, okay, I can't also make the weapon so complicated. But no, you're right. It makes way more sense to also feels more like an actual tail when there are segments and it's flowing. And I guess now it's also like a cooler weapon where it's like something that it could swing and hurl.
Once again, going back to the beginning of time, when a certain MrBonnyJohn applied to the 4 Artists series in the original auditions, Opossum and Opressum.
Was this your first ever Fakemon, Bonnie?
First, yes.
So if you don't know, Bonnie actually came under my radar because he submitted an audition to be part of the 4 Artists series.
I was like, I'm going to follow the prompt of the recent episode to prove that I could ball with them, right? If I were in that episode, this is what I would have done. So it was, I believe, normal to abnormal.
So with Opressum, I felt the name was perfect. It just wasn't evil enough, if that makes sense. There's an energy kind of that the name is giving that the Fakemon isn't. And also I felt the faces coming out the side, while cute and kind of giving the concept, it wasn't kind of matching like what was set up in the rest of the design, with the red eyes being seen in the fur.
Objection! Yeah, no, so far I agree wholeheartedly. Like, this you could really see is like the beginning of, you know, my Fakemon Pokemon journey. In hindsight, it's very gimmicky that I had a Rattata and an opossum hanging out there. It's definitely not something that you would really see in a design.
Was it intentional to make the patterns also feel like extra eyes, or like, is it good?
Absolutely.
So that was intentional. Okay.
But there's a lot happening in this design, like looking at it now. So I'm very excited to see how you probably simplified this design, Deeps.
Simplify might not be the right word.
Okay, all right. So that surprised me.
I've never seen a simple DeadBedSpread design.
Here's a press of
Wow! That's insane. I love the face so much.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Minccino did not deserve this.
Nor did Patra.
They are a small rodent, though. They had no choice.
The full body looking so unkempt. I'm getting Morgrim kind of vibes with the face. Like,
It looks like the Hex Maniac.
Oh yeah.
yo!
Yes.
Oh, that was completely subconscious. Is anyone familiar with a Rat King?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
So I wanted to go with a Rat Queen.
Ah.
Even though possums aren't rodents, but don't tell me.
Yeah.
This feels like a hag or a witch.
It's exaggerated, but that's what you want in a Pokemon. You want to really make the concept clear.
Still in a weird way, like still streamlined, like compared to my other one.
A ball is more fun. It's like there are more shapes. The original still looks like a normal animal, which is good, but like it's not normal anymore. It's supposed to be abnormal, so I feel like this is very abnormal.
I like
Absolutely.
how you made the little tuft of hair on the top of its like fringe look a bit like a crown.
Thank you. Hey, I knew one of you would get it. And also with the shiny, all of the little rodents are also shiny.
Oh, that's really good.
That, or the headcanon is kind of like this thing just steals like baby rodents of other species.
Is that what goblins did? There was one specific, mythical creature that did that.
Some weird freak.
Something from England.
Represent.
Y'all English have some crazy creatures. Mythological ones, at least. Not real ones.
Yeah, it's it's really boring on that front, but
Boris Johnson. That's the only guy I know.
The weird through theme that I have for all of this is that every Pokemon I redesigned is all female. Now, Reoma's, I don't know if yours is 100% female, but it definitely could be.
If it's the same thing that I did, I'm going to be annoyed. But I'm not going to express it so as to not reveal that we did the same thing.
Acting.
Well, Ron, I hope you're not annoyed, but Reoma, you're allowed to be annoyed because the Pokemon that I decided to redesign is the Bullant Final Evolution Antillery.
no, yeah, cool. Tell me about that. Yeah, it still is one of my favorites, I have to say. Let's hear what you have to say about it, Deeps.
And I did like it. It has a lot of like small kind of extraneous details. Its legs don't look like they can like support it. It has like 4 of the cannons where I'm like, I think even 2 would have been okay. And then also personal preferences, like how does it load the cannon if it doesn't have any hands?
Oh, I never thought of that.
That's just a me thing. And also like the head flaps. I didn't really understand what those were based on.
No, I'm excited to see what you've done with it.
It's a bug steel type. It has guns, steel, magnets.
How do those work?
Who knows?
Whoa!
Oh, whoa.
Ooh, that's fire.
Oh.
Railgun.
Oh, the split stuff is pretty good.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it took me a second to get it. That's super cool.
I tried animating it, but I was like, not a chance in hell. It does make sense.
Wow. It's such a fun concept. Like, you really streamlined it.
I like how you segmented the body a lot better as well.
Well, I'm confused in the original. What is right under the X? What are those? They look like little hands.
They're covering the nipples to make this channel PG-13.
I think they were supposed to like kind of be like hand little like
What it-
things, and also they were supposed to kind of represent like little grenades that were on it without actually being grenades. Definitely something you did right by getting rid of there.
It's funny to say that this new artillery is streamlined, though. It is, technically. but it's like there's more, but it is streamlined. How do you have more but also streamline it at the same time? That's crazy.
That's a deep secret. Subscribe to my Patreon at the highest tier, and I'll tell you.
It's just because everything's actually considered now. Like it's more detailed, but all the details have a reason.
Yeah, it's more consistent.
And I suspect, to give Reoma credit too, like had he adjusted the pose for the original, I think
definitely.
Yeah, I think we had warmed up a little more to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell I like posing? I'm such a poser. If anybody prefers the original over the redesign or anything, just pretend that they're regional variants.
This is from Unova. The original is from like
Reoma.
That's true. The connecting arms really is, I think, one of my favorite things I've seen in the series. It was such a clever solution to the original problem, which was that there were too many arms.
It's magnets, baby. Now I need to get dunked on.
So then we move on to Reoma.
It's me, and I'm gonna get revenge.
Oh, no.
And I'm gonna go with Deeps first. And it's a Pokemon by the name of Evil Laptop.
Oh yes, Evil Laptop, my favorite.
Oh my god.
This is a Digimon, bruh.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think it's the pinnacle of Pokemon names, especially.
Was that even a Fakemon? Is this a Fakemon design, or was this like...
Yes, it is. This is the final stage of a 3-stage evolutionary line, where they are all computers, and they start enormous and get smaller as they evolve.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, a laptop's the last one?
The idea of a laptop Pokemon isn't inherently, like, terrible. And I think, like, the progression that you had getting smaller was really cool. I did kind of pick up on that. However, the color scheme is not pleasant.
Yeah,
it is not.
I completely agree. The screen face is...
it's the internet. It represents the internet quite well.
It was based on the internet trap as well.
Yes.
Where you endlessly scroll, so it's a dark psychic type.
That was so I had to kind of avoid like ghostly sort of like design tropes and stuff like that. The weird way that it folds, it didn't read super as a laptop. And finally, you need to kind of really simplify the laptop itself.
I hope it's still called Evil Laptop.
I hope it is not.
Well, yeah, I want to hear this name. This better have a name.
It's called Trap Top.
Oh!
Wow! This is incredible.
It's crazy. I'm very skeptical of this concept, but you made it work so well. Like, you turned me on. You turned me on. You turned me over.
Hey, yo!
Hey, yo!
Hey! What is Ron searching on this laptop, brother?
Yeah.
You have turned me over.
The silhouette in the bottom right just clued me into like the mouse and their angry eyebrows.
Yeah, it's like a little
almost.
hand. Yeah, it's so sick.
And it's crazy how you made all the pixels three-dimensional, but it's flat and 3D at the same time, and it's very appealing.
Terminally online is the ability.
So the idea is that as you like doom scroll, you just like get
that's
sadder
so
and worse.
funny.
So
That's
every
so
turn,
funny.
yeah, every turn, every Pokemon just gets their stats lowered. It's a random stat. I think it would be all the same stat, but random each turn. So kind of like reverse Moody.
Hell yeah.
Pikachu!
Oh, that's really good.
So
Beautiful.
it's pretty sketcy, but like I just wanted to get kind of the personality down.
Not hot quills near
Hot
you.
quills. Hey! Hey, what's that website?
The flat one with the eyes is so good.
Oh, and it's
Yeah,
Cosmo's Macro Cosmo laptop.
Yes, I'm glad you picked up on
course.
that.
Yo, Reoma, you popped off, my boy.
It's not subtle, but it's like as unsubtle as Game Freak would make it.
Like the connectors for like the cursors are, and like the fingers of the mouse are keys. You can see they're kind of like missing. I didn't want to like do it like crazy because it would have been too much detail. But I thought it's just kind of like making
That's
stuff
what's going
float. It's 4 times weak to bug, which I thought was really cool.
Oh,
'Cause, you know,
nice.
the computer gets a bug.
Very nice, Steves and Reoma.
That wasn't intentional.
Oh, and the shiny is colored after Spamton from Deltarune. Just putting that out there as well.
This is fantastic.
The original name was better. Anyway, I'll move on to you now, Ron.
Oh, better be as good as Trap Top.
Yours gave me trouble. I will say.
Trouble.
It's from another 4-artist video.
Okay.
Oh,
What's going on?
Okay.
You guys were allowed to pick really old designs.
And I think it's one you probably like.
Because I try in the 4-artist videos.
And I like it too. I do like it too. Anyway, it's
Another flat design, I'm assuming?
yeah, a little bit. There's more pressing problems, I will say. But the thing is that like the concept itself is so great. Like it's so good. And the colors, they were so good. And I think it's one of those ones I just wanted to tweak a little bit. But my main things with it is that I felt that the proportions were a little out. The head seemed very big and the feet seemed very small. And also I like the whole like kind of geometric style that it's in, but I felt that it did make it quite flat and it didn't quite get sort of the grace of a conductor or the coolness of a glam rocker either.
The prompt of that video was like boss and underlings. And so this guy is this electric psychic type that conducts using its light stick fingers. It's based on a bat and a vampire and glam rockers and conductors, and it basically puts a spell on its pre-evolved forms, which make them cheer, and then the cheering gives this guy power, and then it's like a perpetual cycle of like energy. I guess I did intentionally make it very androgynous, I guess. That's why it's very top-heavy, but still skinny. But let's see if you have a better execution of whatever I was trying to do. When I'm doing a lot of pointy stuff, I don't want to render and shade all the individual spikes because that would like feel like there'd be too much detail, but then that means it ends up looking flat, I guess.
I decided to go with something a little bit more animal inspired.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Okay, dude, what is going on? These are some of your best things.
Oh my god, the hair!
Wow.
So yeah, now it's more, I guess, like Beethoven-y a little bit.
Yeah.
Rouge the Bat.
Yes, so someone did mention that.
And it is still feminine and masculine at the same time, which is good.
Yeah.
You said you want it to be kind of vague, which I appreciate. I like vague animal Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the bat in there, but I thought maybe if I mix it with the eye, then that would kind of...
Oh, wow. They're both night creatures. This is definitely better. Like, again, like, if I were to redesign it, I would try to make it feel like it consists of 3D shapes instead of 2D ones, and it definitely is way more bat-like in a way that makes sense and is consistent with the concept.
It definitely looks like more of like a presence as well. Like it's like I am conducting.
Here's the concept art as well, by the way. Little page, just to get a couple of little bits for it.
I love all of these. Ugh. Oh, and the devotee, so like the pre-evolved form, it still fits, which is so cool. Like the designs still fit with each other.
I enjoyed devotee.
So I love the little flying pose almost. And I love
I'm seeing the mane, bursting out.
It's just way more dynamic, way more fleshed out. Damn, this is going to change something in me. I'm going to start considering 3D more.
He's going to evolve into True Green 8.
I can see the shapes in yours. I can see the 3D shapes and forms in yours. While mine, I guess it became more muddy. Like it's like you can't really tell where some parts begin and end. While yours, it really feels like you can easily 3D model this. You can sculpt it.
I was originally going to give it more like bat-like legs, but my little sister was looking over my shoulder and she was like, I don't like the legs, so I changed them back. Okay, Bonnie.
Lay it on me, brother.
I'm going to be so honest with you. I had no idea what to do for you.
Yeah.
I don't have much.
No! No! This is...
Yeah, that's from the Exwell run.
The thing is, Bonnie, I actually really like this design a lot. I have nothing wrong with it. The reason that I don't love it is because it evolves from this.
What? I mean, it makes sense, but what?
I want to make it more in line with 2D.
In its, categorization, the shameless Pokemon, it's meant to be like this dark type is doing everything to stay relevant, right? Like it started as a rubber hose kind of entity. This guy's meant to be kind of like an edgy, like 80s, 90s, like mascot type of guy where 2D leans into the next era and it's like, okay, I'm not going to really be able to keep up with, being this rubber house entity. I'm going to be Pikachu, and I'm going to be like the fake Pikachu. I'm Pikachu. I am Pikachu also, as in 2 and then 2. Shameless ripoff, meant to obviously be, like a Mickey Mouse kind of ripoff, because, we have 2D is meant to be Steamboat, Mickey.
I think it's really, really fun, and I think the design itself is fantastic. I was just thinking, I want to keep it as something duck-like, but it's trying to be a mouse. So I'm thinking, what's like half duck, half rodent?
Oh my god!
So this is the new Pikachu.
Oh
wow! Wow!
True. Like now, I think of it. Why did the original Pikachu have to be so Mickey Mousey?
Yeah, well, Mickey Mouse is a rodent like Pikachu, so that's why I had him like he's like really like plastic surgery to survive in the new world. I love the hair so much. I keep looking at like the swirled hair, the ears almost kind of feel like a bandana now.
Yeah.
I love the treatment of the feet. Wow, this is so fun.
I like the angle, like the perspective that we have going on here.
Yeah, we're looking up at him. He's like, this is my town now.
It's much got that like Looney Tunes, like it's Daffy Duck basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of gone from Mickey Mouse to Daffy Duck instead. And I felt like making it taller and giving it those Looney Tunes proportions really, I think it helps to make it feel like a evolution of 2D.
I think you nailed it. I think this to me feels like more what I feel like they would do. I think with me, like I was like really leaning into the meta element, especially.
Yeah, they would not be able to do what you did.
No, and then on top of that, like this was for Deep's project where he's doing a design a day, and that day happened to be Pokemon Day. So I was like, well, who's more Pokemon than Pikachu?
It's a duck pretending to be a mouse, which I think makes the kind of idea of it like being so shameless kind of funny in a way, because it's so obviously not Pikachu. In fact, the Pikachu ears become like as you said, a bandana. It's like a thief's mask.
So I guess you made it kind of like an electric tail, like a Pikachu clone would try to have it, but he couldn't successfully make one, right? Like, so is that
exactly. I mean, that was the idea, is that it was kind of like a big kind of thick tail. You can kind of like zigzagify it, make it look like Pikachu. I also say the fact that it's a platypus really works with the poison type, because
and that's why the spurs are on the feet. I was wondering.
Yeah, that's fun. That's great.
How did I not see the spurs?
Here is the concept art.
Oh my god!
It's my birthday. Wait a second. Hold on.
Wait, now the tail kind of looks like a whoopee cushion.
That is so fun. Is that the intention? Was it a whoopee cushion like Ron just said, or are we retconning right now?
Yes.
No, it wasn't. But that's a really fun like way of thinking about it. It's it does a much.
That is so fun.
Idea. We have a lot of dark types in this one.
Just to show how evil we are by redesigning each other's Pokemon.
Yeah.
To hopefully take this as a compliment, but I don't understand why these are all the best pieces of art I've ever seen from you.
It could be because we're getting this primo concept art too, where it's really elevating the design further.
So well done.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm at art uni right now, so I'm learning a lot, and I haven't been designing a ton of Pokemon, so maybe it's me coming out the other side of my first year there.
He's doing his artistic journey.
Like, compare this to literally something that you drew like a year ago. It's like, it's astonishing.
I'm a bit younger than you guys. Let's not beat around the bush.
You're a baby.
I'm a baby. So I'm still, I'm
a child.
I'm growing, but I think I'm growing quickly. It's nice to know that you think I'm getting better.
Like, I don't have the time to do these concepts. I'm never gonna do these concepts art, but they look so fun to do. Like, if I just had unlimited time, I would do this, but like, and it wouldn't be as good, but like, it really seemed like it would help my artistic journey.
Ron just brought us here to help teach him lessons.
Which sucks, because I'm next.
Let's go.
Not gonna lie, I don't think I think they're the worst. I think they're gonna be the worst out of all of us.
I'm sure they'll be great, Ron.
The first Pokemon I'm redesigning is gonna be Rioma's. And I think it's pretty clear that all my homies hate Antillery, apparently. Here's what's funny. It's the opposite. It really is that I guess it's your most like standout design or like original concept. We want to see it be as good as it can be.
Yeah.
I really associate you with Antillery, I guess, because that was the first thing I've ever seen of yours. But I do have a lot of the critiques that Deebs had. I said too many arms, but he kept all the arms and it made it more genius. I took away the arms. I took away one set. So I was not clever. Mine is way more faithful to the original. Yeah, there are just too many small details that aren't consistent. Each segment of its body has different patterns and different attributes. And then the number one thing is that like it looks like a grass type. Because it's very pretty. It looks like a flower.
I think my texturing work was not up to snuff back then. So yeah, I totally get what you mean looking at it now. But no, it wasn't intentional.
So I definitely removed everything that looks like a flower or a leaf. While I actually really like the color scheme, again, for a steel bug type, it's I think maybe too colorful and doesn't look too like military. It pops out a little too much in war, and this thing has to camouflage a little bit. So here is mine.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, awesome.
You redesigned the babies as well.
It's so crazy, first of all, how similar yet different. Like with the pose.
Yes.
Pose is like, it's so similar.
The
It's
rendering.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
The rendering is great.
Yes.
What I think is so successful here is how well padded. Like I feel like he could really take hits. Like the steel really lands here.
Yeah.
Like, I love the not the rivets, but like all the line work. There's something so developed about like all of these shielded bits. It's really nice to look at.
The leaf cape, I took that just as like, oh, it's gathered camouflage with like this big leaf, because like, you know, leaf cutter ants. Maybe it like put it on itself. But I love how you turned it into like an extra carapace.
What you were saying before about how you struggle to get 3D forms, I think this is immediate proof that you don't, because this seems like so well like established. Like I could easily see this being 3D modeled.
Thanks.
This is so awesome.
The glint on like the mandible under the eye is so.
I was gonna say on the antennae too. Yeah.
This is definitely the shiniest Pokemon ever like rendered, and I don't even know if it's like physically correct in terms of how the light works.
Who cares if it makes sense? It looks cool.
And also you've redesigned what was it called? Bullant, the baby.
I made it look like a bullet.
Yeah, beautiful.
Even though like I do like the grenade aspect of the original, it just, I mean, for me, bullets come out of guns, so that's how I made it.
Yeah.
What? It's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Hey, Grenade Launcher has entered the chat. You know, he actually feels like he could, you know, go to war. Like he looks so badass.
All the bug steel types are awesome.
Popular. Yeah.
Especially Wormadam.
Never mind. I just like Pokemon that look like they can protect me, but we can also chill, and that's what I want.
I love both of these redesigns so much more than the original.
It really feels like
Really cool.
our Antillaries are split evolutions of each other. I mean, like, all three of them.
Yeah.
The second one, it changed a lot, because it's an old design of Deebs.
Oh boy.
Although, definitely later than Evil Computer, or Evil Laptop, or whatever.
Evil computer.
Evil laptop.
Gorillath.
Oh no.
Gorillath.
Okay.
What is this?
This was a mistake.
This was well, the concept. So this is a prompt, right? This was a, what's it called? Smogtober? What was it? Smogust?
This was Smogust, where every day of August you draw a dragon. I think the prompt for this day was gorilla, like warfare.
It was probably I think it was just gorilla, and you just were clever and made it gorilla.
Yeah.
Warfare.
So the idea was kind of like it's this gorilla that when it lies down it like disguises itself as a rock. It was a daily drawing challenge, and I think it was around near day 20. So clearly I was just having a day where I was like, I just need to draw something. Why is it either of its types? Who knows?
Yeah. Why didn't you just make it Dragon Rock? I don't understand.
'Cause I'm a fool, Ron.
Can I point out? So he's like, I use guerrilla warfare, but let me just smile and give a thumbs up.
He does.
Yeah, it doesn't match at all.
This is the last thing you see before you die. Guerrilla warfare.
It's cool. I like when things aren't the animal but have the shape of an animal. So like, this isn't a gorilla. This is not a gorilla, but it's the shape of a gorilla.
I think I just remembered that the back is like a mound of like silver rock because it's a silver back.
Oh yeah, that was clever. Yeah. What do you mean? How would it? Just carrying a piece of rock?
I don't know, Ron.
So that's why I'm like, it was very tough when I'm redesigning this, like, to remember that I'm not making a rock type, and then also I have to now make it look way more menacing and like a dark type, but also a dragon type, because honestly, there's nothing dragon about this. I do like that the hair also is almost like roots of like as if it picked up a mountain. Although I don't think mountains have roots. They're not.
Have you ever picked up a mountain? Yeah, get back to me when you do that.
It's neither a gorilla nor a dragon, so like I made mine a literal dragon gorilla. Like what if I was doing the prompt basically, but following your exact concept, which is a gorilla with a mountain and also kind of camouflaging, I guess.
Ooh. Hey! He looks like an actual thing with the concept now.
I like the forearms, like the patterning is simple there, and the yellow and blue bouncing there is really nice as well.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I have to keep both the hairiness, but also make it jagged and like look like part of it is hard. So I had to blend it in somehow.
It feels like scales and it feels like fur. The mountain range makes like the spines of the dragon's back. It's really, really smart. Yeah.
I forgot all my intention when I was doing it. Like, those were my intentions, but I forgot about everything. But yeah, exactly. Like trying to get the dragony spikes with the dragony scales, but mixing it with a mountain, but also the fur of a gorilla. It was very tough.
Is it a legendary or like a pseudo?
It is. I mean, because you didn't have any stats and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I turned it into pseudo legendary. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What is the ability? Guerrilla tactics.
That's from what's his name from Galarian Darmanitan. Exactly.
A pseudo with a built-in choice band is nutty.
It's crazy. It's probably dumb. But like,
no,
well, it just hit it with the fairy move. It does.
It really feels like you've kept the whole like camouflage motif as well. There's a sort of the like eye plating above that. It looks like almost like a fake mountain range that it's kind of set itself up behind.
Yeah.
I think that's really fun.
I love Monkey.
The last one is obviously Bonnie, and Bonnie's always the toughest one.
Hello.
For two reasons. If the audience does not know, we do not have a lot of options for Bonnie, and also most of his designs are pretty good. So it's like,
thank you.
If I can't pick one that's really bad, then we might as well pick one that's really good. If I'm not gonna win in any case, and it's never gonna look as good as Bonnie's original, might as well pick the best Bonnie design, Kintorai.
Oh my god, Ron, you crazy!
I'm an idiot!
Son of a bitch!
No,
I'm so stupid!
I already see what I don't like about this design. So, I'm very excited to see what you do.
But I didn't make it better! It's not better, mine!
Don't lie. You destroyed mine. Let's see it. Just put me out of my misery, damn it!
Because, okay, so the original one is like, what the flaws that I can say are not flaws, they're just like, they're actually good things. So like, for example, it's very masculine, but that's cool, that it looks so masculine, it's very cool looking. So mine is slightly less, it's like less masculine, it's, I guess, slightly more feminine. Its face is huge, it has a huge head. And I feel like it looks more Disney than Pokemon.
I saw that comment a lot.
So mine looks more Sugimori like, I guess. The other thing is that I guess the patterns are relatively symmetrical, but it's like based on the concept, which is kintsugi, the Japanese art of mending broken vessels with gold. And I love the concept of applying that to a scarred cat. So I just mine is slightly more asymmetrical because of that, because it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be imperfect, you know? It's supposed to be scarred, so like, why would they be symmetrical, I guess? So mine, the entire fur is more noticeably like a steel. Like, it looks more like a statue. I think the original, the form, it really is just a tiger. I just made mine look more like fantastical in terms of like the form, so it looks more like a statue, I guess. But again, that's the problem, is that yours already has the pose of a statue, and it's such a good pose. It looks so regal. So I couldn't do the exact same pose. It just felt like it would never be as good, even though it would fit my concept better. So I made mine. I picked a different pose.
Wow! No, I think you should give yourself a lot more credit. First of all, thank you for all the kind words. This, I feel like, if I were to redesign this man today, this is the direction I would absolutely take it. The rendering is so goddamn beautiful, I could kiss my screen right now.
Dude, it was so hard to come up with the patterns. I think I spent more on this design than anything.
And the asymmetrical element of it really does make him feel like a unique character who survived the ordeal.
It makes it look like the body is almost kind of like built out of like marble or stone, which one kind of goes into that statue aspect, but the rendering on this...
Still handsome.
Immaculate, for lack of a better word.
Your lighting is so impressive.
Yeah.
Really like the line weight that you chose for the gold.
Oh, it was hard. Again, I spent like hours on that.
And it looks exactly like what I was trying to do for mine, which is like lightning, right? Lightning splits and moves. Yeah. I already know the struggle you had because I went through it. So like,
it's way harder than you think to make this to make it look asymmetrical and like inconsistent, but still look beautiful.
But even in it just standing like this, very regal, it looks like there's so much movement, and that's super successful.
Anytime anybody iterates on that or like just does their own version, it still has that amazing concept, so it'll always look good, I guess. I would love to see actually other people's interpretations of Kintorai, now that I think of it, if you allow it.
No, of course. I like the black you chose too. Like it helps the gold pop even more. Looking at mine, it's very muted.
I love how the shiny is the same thing.
Yeah, for people might not know what's going on.
You had to be there. You had to be there, kids.
You had to be there. Yeah, you had to be there.
Go watch the original, guys.
4 artists design Pokemon from the same description. Number 7 with me, Bonnie, and Virgolifus.
It was my favorite episode. I'm just gonna say it. It was my favorite episode.
You heard it here first. Let's go.
Finally, it's time for Bonnie.
Hello, everyone. I'm MrBonnyJohn, aka Professor Bodhi. Let's get it going. I have shocking news. I have no reference today, and the first one that I'm going to start with is Reoma, actually.
Nice.
So, Reoma, I'm gonna say this right now. I did you no favors in Salama.
Yes.
Insalama's very cute.
This is Insalama, based on llamas, and I think also it was supposed to be like some kind of Peruvian clothing. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just a llama, and it's ice and normal type.
Were the poodle aspects intentional?
No.
It is giving fur. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's exactly why I had to punch him up just a little bit, because when I looked at Insalama, like I thought it was a poodle. I'm like, oh, is this like a fur type of thing? We'll just jump right into it with my Insalama, the warm-hearted Pokemon.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
so cute.
I really leaned into them wearing the wool, right, that like llama are known for. There's a really fun juxtaposition going on where like the body is bare, but it's still very warm.
I'm so glad you decided to design this one.
I really want ice cream now.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, Neapolitan. So, Insalama live high up in the mountains, only coming down at the end of winter seasons to have their extremely warm and insulated wool be sheared by the locals after centuries of partnership. Sweaters spun from the wool are described as being hugged by a gentle and loving fire when worn. Insalama's stable footing and warmth they provide are invaluable for hikers, and stories of Insalama providing warmth for those lost at the top of mountains for days or even weeks are why these creatures are widely celebrated. Although largely docile, they are extremely protective over their trainers and denizens of the mountain, and will fire icy spit at deceptively long range with precise accuracy to protect those it adores.
I think you're really right about the proportions. I love what you've done with them. The like really skinny legs against kind of the big fluffy coat, and then the boots. The boots are inspired because they still look like hooves.
Sure.
The boots with the fur.
The whole club was looking at her.
Who is she?
But Insalama.
It would be very hard shiny hunting this thing at night or in an ice cave.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw this, I thought of brains. It looks
Brains?
It looks like the texture of a brain. But no, obviously, I can see what you were doing.
Ron has
That's-
clearly
Yeah.
never held sweater from old country.
Sweater from old country.
I'm missing out.
Knives Out. Chris Evans' sweater
You're
took
right.
everybody's. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
pattern I saw. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make that into a Pokemon. All right, cool. Let's get it. So next up, we got my boy Ron. Funny enough, I was gonna go with B-Conduct because that was the first one, or the first time I got to collab with you, and it was like the first time I really got to do my thing. And I'm like, it feels like it would be a nice kind of full circle moment. But then I was like going through some of your older stuff, and I'm like, tell us about Clawstrap.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my, this is old.
Yeah, I definitely redesigned this because like I feel like when I was designing it, it was like everything was just like an afterthought. It was like I just added things because I needed to finish the design. I don't even think I finished some of the legs and some of the abdomen. so it's like I was very lazy with this one. Even though I really like the concept, and I should have picked this to redesign in the future. But now I have you doing it because I guess the concept is really good. So it's basically just like a trapdoor spider, but it literally is camouflaged as a door. So it's like it has these big flat wall legs.
There's so much to love about this design. Like the unwieldy shape is very unique. The concept is very fun. But I'm looking at the grass elements, which is very fun. I guess it works, right? Like it's clearly camouflaged as, in its space.
It's just it's for everybody who doesn't know, it's fur. It's not actually grass.
Mm-hmm. It's, living in this environment waiting for prey. So I was like, I want to really get it to feel a little more organic, yet also lean into the colder side as well. Like the steel elements could be even more pronounced. This Pokemon would wait and have like berries as lure, right? And I really love that angle. I'm like, okay, that's a really important part of its hunting strategy. How can I meld that into the design?
Oh, snap!
Whoa!
So,
I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
The Pechaberry also.
Self-described here, the Pechaberry abdomen
perfect.
is raised up. The creature
that's so
nestles
good.
into the... Yeah, so imagine it wriggling its little abdomen to entice. And I don't quite often use shading, but I really wanted to push this creature even far back, right? Really sell the perspective, really play up the size, right? The moment you step in, you're dead, right?
Oh my god, I just noticed the size of it.
Oh my god, that's scary! Oh my god! No,
let
I
me-
actually was triggered by it. I don't know why.
Let me read the deck real quick. So, Claw Strap. Due to Claw Strap's body featuring many unwieldy body parts, it is forced to lie dormant for hours or even days at a time to conserve energy. These Pokemon lodge themselves into nooks and crannies of caves and forests, burrowing itself into the ground and raising its abdomen to entice unsuspecting prey closer and closer when slammed. Its pincers close so fast that their prey feels nothing as their bodies emulsify into mulch in an instant.
So this came from a video where I was turning fears into Pokemon. So I turned, I guess, claustrophobia into Pokemon. With your design, it literally manifested some of my phobias, which is spiders, but also like megalophobia. I guess I'm really afraid of like giant abnormal machinery. Bigger versions of things that are usually small scare me. With yours fully realizing that concept, it's pretty crazy that Game Freak has not done this exact thing. It's kind of a perfect creature. It's a perfect creature.
It's such a fun design. Yeah, it is such a fun design.
Like, how is this not in any video game? Like, how does like Mario not have this? How does Kirby not have this? How does any Nintendo game not have this exact kind of thing?
Yeah. How would it work in like the overworld of Pokemon? Like, if you walk into this, does your character just die? Like, are you gone?
He
Does
just
the game
dies.
itself,
Yeah,
or
he just
does it-
dies.
You
He
go,
literally dies.
Yeah. Okay.
your save file goes corrupt.
I can imagine it as like an overworld like roadblock. Like you get snapped up and the battle starts.
The
and then
Snorlax
it's
of
great.
its game, maybe? Yeah, the Snorlax of
Yeah.
its game, maybe. Yeah.
It claps really good.
What'd you say?
Say again?
It claps really good.
I was thinking another kind of clap, but we can move on
Yeah,
from
I'm like,
there.
what are we?
Get your... Y'all are
Yeah.
fucking sus today. It's the weekend. Y'all have your feet up. And
We
things
don't call
on
it
your
a freaking
mind.
weekend for nothing, okay? The court now brings you up in defense of Elk Tick.
No way!
What say you of Elk Tick?
So, Elktick is the final stage evolution for a grass starter that I made for a region theoretically based on Ireland, where it is a combination of Irish elk, which is an extinct species of elk from Ireland, and also if you want to follow the grass starter extinction theory, there you go, while also incorporating some kind of ancient Irish runic stones. But I also had its antlers be hands because I thought that was fun.
I looked at this design, I thought that was so fun. It was super out there, like it's not something I don't think I would have thought to do. You know, hands aside, I was like, it's a little too busy. I messaged into our group maybe a couple weeks ago when we started, and I said something. You guys remember what it was?
It was so rude. It was actually disgusting. I had to delete it.
Yeah.
I
Bonnie,
did
you're a
get banned.
freak.
I said, I designed the hottest Pokemon I've ever made.
Oh no!
Yeah. Oh wait.
However,
I was gonna say
No,
that he's kind of human looking.
which creeps me the f out,
Yeah.
respectfully.
Aren't all starters kind of humanoid?
Well, they're humanoid in shape, not like their face got
okay,
morphed.
no.
Yeah. Oh, that's the problem. Its
Yeah.
Uh,
its eyes are front facing. That's not what deer do.
Yeah, deer don't do that. I mean, maybe they did. This one's extinct, so.
What that deer do?
What that deer do? I'm looking at it, I'm like, it just feels like it needs to be a little more earthy, just a little more
Yep.
sturdy. Everyone meet Elktick 2.0.
Oh my god.
Aw, my baby boy.
Smash.
I made it grass fighting instead of grass rock. I could see it easily being the case because I clearly kept rock elements. I didn't want to lose the rune elements. So I could easily just update that to be rock. The diamond motif that we see at the top, as well as obviously on the hooves, those are actual runes. Yeah, I was originally going to try to incorporate strength. Instead, I went with growth, which is very fitting for a grass type. Antlers themselves constantly grow and then shed. And I have a dex for it as well. For Elktick 2.0, Elktick are proud warriors who battle for mates and territory at the start of every spring season. These noble Pokemon train by boxing against trees, able to fell them in a 2-strike combination by way of their antlers. These Pokemon shed their antlers if they go on losing streaks, in the hopes to train their new horns to be even larger and sturdier.
Do you know what my immediate thought was when I saw this guy? Do you guys know that that fan game, Pokemon Close Combat? It's like a 2D fighting game, but like with only
that
Pokemon.
one, yeah.
I want to see this guy in that.
Totally.
Those arms would be so much fun.
I can also imagine like the arms of the antlers being able to like grow in and out. Like when it's sleeping, they'd be like folded all the way up to its head.
That's what I was thinking.
I would hold his hand.
This is a weird episode.
First of its kind. Make sure you leave a like and let us know if you want part 2.
So, if you guys didn't know, Reoma got into this series because of the audition that a casting call. I made a big casting call to everybody on Twitter. I said, let me see your skills. And then Reoma was like, bet. And then he showed me his skills. And then I'm like, all right, yeah, you can be on this. Please, go check out the post I made on Twitter. And please actually follow the instructions, because a lot of people are not.